about to leave. Already packing, come with me. I'm not.
Hello friends and enemies, welcome back to Happy For Now. I'm here to tell you all about my reading month so far since it's December 15th. I'm recording this literally the day before, so who knows what I'll finish tonight. But I am somehow already 17 books into the year, or into the month, so I just thought I'd cut myself off now for a little bit. So if you're new here, my mid-month wrap-ups always cover the first half of the year. I am thinking end of year already, y'all. The first half of the month's reading and what I read. I just kind of go through them in order. Any mangas I read, I will probably group together because I think it's easier to cover them that way, because I am doing the 25 days of manga. So we're gonna run through all the books I read, and then we'll run through the mangas I've read so far, and we'll go from there. I will also link to any vlog where I talk about these books more in depth in the description box for you, along with links to all the books. While you're down there, be sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and check back here regularly for romance content 3 times a week. All right, let's jump right into a highlight, which is Take a Hint, Danny Brown. This book was so good, y'all. Okay, first of all, it's a solid 5-star book. I love Zaf and Danny. They are both now my book boyfriends and girlfriends forever and ever. Zaf is a total cinnamon roll who reads romance novels. Former rugby player. Just everything that is up my alley is happening in this book, okay? And I just really loved how it unfolded. Danny's a little witchy, which I also super loved. And it just was such a great contemporary. Talia Hibbert has yet to really disappoint me, to be honest with you. She's definitely up there on that favorites author list. Next we have Lead by Kylie Scott, which I gave like a 3.5. This follows Jimmy, who's the lead singer of the band, in Stage Dive. This is the last book I had to read in the series, so I quickly dove into it for these both were part of the Romance Takeover readathon, which I have 2 vlogs for. You can check them out down below. But I quickly dived into these and really had a blast. There's such like pulpy new adult drama filled romances that they're very fun to read at the end of the day, but they're not like 5-star these changed my life books. So this one follows Jimmy, who is a recovering addict, and his companion, whose name I cannot remember, hold on, Lena, his companion slash like assistant of sorts. She's hired on to keep him company and help keep him on the right track. Well, she wants to quit her job and he's not having it. It's a lot of like, well, since this job won't let you date, I'm gonna set you up with people to go on dates with, but then he keeps crashing their dates because he doesn't want to admit that he likes her, and it's so stinking cute, y'all. It's so stinking cute. Then I read Tools of Engagement by Tessa Bailey. I gave this a 4. Let me tell you what I gave it. It was like a 3.5. I thought this was a solid conclusion to the series. I enjoyed Bethany, I enjoyed Wes. This is an age gap. She is older, which is also really, really fun, I think. I don't think we get enough older women romances, to be honest with you. And I just thought that this was cute. It was a good conclusion to the 3 books, like the little trilogy. And I really liked their interactions and banter. I didn't love the ending, so it's kind of what knocked it down to a 3.5 for me. It probably would have been a 4 otherwise, but the ending just felt a little weird. Then I read The Roommate by Rosie Danan, which I also gave a 3.5, I believe. Yeah. So this, for me, I think is just not memorable enough, but I'm really excited to see what else Rosie writes. I think this is a great debut. It's solid. It's doing a lot of work that we don't see in traditionally published romance as much, around sex work, sex positivity, empowering women around sex. And I love that. Like, if you watch my channel at all, I feel like that's something you know I really love and appreciate. But I just think the story had some flaws at the end of the day. Still really good, still a little overhyped, definitely worth your time. Which that plot follows Josh and Clara. Clara moves cross country to move in with her best friend who she's had a crush on forever, and he just ups and leaves to go on tour with his band. So, you know, like, he's not a great guy. And she definitely does a lot of growing in this and self-discovery, which again, I really, really like. It's just not, it just lacked like a little extra. I'm breaking things. It just lacked the little extra something I wanted. I also kind of wanted it to be smuttier. I know it's traditionally published, but there are smutty traditionally published books, y'all. Like, come on. Next, I read Her Night with the Duke, which I still have my post-it notes in from my buddy read with Shay Geeks Out and Lindsay Tutt. This follows Leela and Hunt, who hook up literally in chapter 2, and then come to find out that Hunt right here is engaged or going to be betrothed to her her stepdaughter. Not sister-in-law, her stepdaughter. She married like an older guy when she was young at her father's request, and he died, and so she's got like a stepson who's close in age and a stepdaughter. The stepson is super creepy and gross, and I have major issues with it. Nobody talked about that. And then I felt like they just tried to solve their problems through sex, which was not very beneficial at the end of the day. I really wish they would have communicated a little bit more. So I think the miscommunication that like the last 65% of the book hinges on, / no communication, is what really knocked this down for me. I think it's a solid 3-star read. It is by no means bad, and I totally get why a lot of people love it. It just did not do it for me. I think the hype really took me out of it when it comes down to it, unfortunately. Then I read a hug of a book, The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. This was also just utterly delightful. It seriously felt like a hug of a book. This follows, wow, I just read it and I forgot his name. This follows Linus Baker, who is a social worker for magical children / children with special abilities. And he's living like a very solitary, kind of what some would think a sad life. I don't really think it's that sad, but he has to set everything aside and travel out to this house on a beautiful ocean and meet Arthur and all of these amazing children with abilities, like Lucy, who is the Antichrist, and a gnome, and just so much happens in this little like hug of a book. I honestly could see myself rereading this book many a times over the next few months. It was a 5-star read. Like, I finished it and I just let out like a happy little sigh. It was so happy. Like, it just was, like I said, like a warm hug. Like, I mean, it's not happy. Like, there's issues, don't get me wrong. They're dealing with a lot of things, but it just felt like a weird, warm hug that I wanted in my life. I cannot wait for the next book that has a similar cover to this. I want books about all these kids. I just need more. Like, I need more. I'm so happy I started reading TJ Klune this year. I can't imagine a better time, to be honest, because a lot of his books are just kind of a weird hug in the best way. I really loved this one, y'all. If you've been putting this off because of the hype, I definitely think you should pick it up in 2021. Then the last book I read, which is Fans Only by B Love. I really like this. This is a Kindle Unlimited novella. This follows Merrick and Aries, who are like longtime friends. They decide to start hooking up and filming it for OnlyFans, basically to make money so they can both pursue their dreams. So Dana commented in my vlog about this, about the issues she had with the book, and I totally get it. I actually like really understand her problem, which is that Merrick kind of isn't focused on Aries in any way, and there's like some other women interest happening, but I actually really appreciated the way it was handled in this book, because Merrick and Aries made an agreement very quickly when another woman entered the scenario for him that that woman and him would not be doing it while they were having sex. So like, that was to me like an okay step. Like, he clearly communicated expectations of what was going on to the women. So to me it was like kind of okay, and I didn't mind it. It felt very adult. I do think you know, it's a novella. I think you can only pack so much in before you've got a full-length novel, and I don't think there's enough there for a full-length novel. So I just liked overall the level of smuttiness and how it was delivered. Did not like the A to V action because I just kept thinking about an infection. So yeah, 4 stars for me. I think this is a really great Black love book to check out, especially because it's on Kindle Unlimited. I cannot wait to read more by B Love. All right, y'all ready for all this manga? So like I said, I'm doing 25 days of manga, so I'm taking a dive. We are doing it. It's gonna happen. You'll get a vlog for it towards the end of the month. So the first volume of manga I read was Boys Over Flowers by Yoko Kamino. This is the classic like K-drama, and I think there's an anime too, I'm not sure. But this is a classic. I loved this K-drama. It was one of my first K-dramas, so I knew I wanted to start reading this manga, and I did. Book 1 was really fun, or volume 1 was really fun. I enjoyed it. It was like a 4-star read. The art's a little dated, of course. This is an older series, but I'm enjoying it so far, and I can't wait to see what else happens. Then I read Wotako, Love is Hard for Otaku, Volume 1, which I really liked. This I gave, I think, 4 stars as well. I have a hard time rating manga yet because I don't feel like I've read enough in recent years to have good rating systems for it, but this was like a 4-star. I really enjoyed most of it. I felt it was like a little bit long, but I really, really loved the art. I loved the nerd life. I loved all the references to nerd life, otaku life, basically. It's a lot of things I got because, again, I've talked about this before. I used to go to anime conventions. I definitely am a nerd, like, at heart at the end of the day, which is probably not surprising to anyone on my channel. I've built a PC, like, I am a nerd. I've got anime things behind me and Pokemons, you know, like, it's just, it's part of who I am as a person to an extent, and I just really loved them falling in love as like former childhood friends, and it's just very cute. I got a lot of vibes of my like partner and I, because, like, you know, he'll sit and play video games and I might read, or I might also play a different video game, and it's just always really fun. Okay, then I read Yona of the Dawn volume 17 through 24. And that is a big chunk of the 17 books I've read, okay? That's 7 volumes. So 7 of the 17 books I read were Yona of the Dawn volumes. I am working on catching up to the series. I have 3 more left. I'm not okay, is the first thing I'm going to tell you. I'm really not okay right now, but I'm going to be okay because I'm going to be caught up soon. And I just, like, volume 24 literally left off on a cliffhanger that I'm just, like, dying, y'all. Seriously dying. But let's start at the beginning. Volume 17, I was just amazed, honestly, at the end of the day, at where our characters are going. As I've continued reading this series, Yona of the Dawn, I'm thoroughly impressed with the fact that it's a fantasy romance that every single volume is adding to the story. There has not been a single filler volume. You might think it's filler, and then later you're like, wait a minute, that was about that in that volume. And I just love the way in which it's built on each other. We got some backstory around former blue dragons. We got backstories on Zeno. And we got backstories on Hawk and Suwon, and we continue to watch Yona develop and grow as a character. All of them continue to grow and develop as characters, and we get to see some old friends again from previous volumes that are just a delight. And I really honestly, thank you, Shay and Nikki from XO Nikki, for introducing me to this series. You both talked about it and I picked it up, and I'm so glad I did, and I cannot believe I'm about to be caught up. This is really what kickstarted my new refound love of manga, was reading these. I have always liked mangas. I just haven't read a ton in my adult life. 1, cost, 2, like, space, and 3, just like, there's so much. It's like overwhelming. And this, Yona of the Dawn, just speaks to my heart in so many ways, and I really, really love it. So thanks y'all for talking about it on Instagram and on YouTube, which has then caused me to go pick it up. And now I need to go buy volumes 1 through like 11 so I can have the full set on my shelves. Yeah, all of them were 5 stars. I've got nothing else to say. So yeah, that's my extremely fast 17 book mid-month wrap up. I try to keep it kind of brief. You know, I did vlogs on most of these, and I just don't want to waste your time. Plus, you've got all that Vlogmas content to watch from everybody else. So, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Drop a Christmas tree emoji or a pine tree or some kind of tree emoji in the comment box for me if you made it this far. Be sure to check that description box again for all links and details of everything I talked about, and links to all the vlogs I talked about these books in. You can also find links to all my social media down there, which is Instagram, Goodreads, and Twitter. Also, a link to the Romance YouTuber Discord, where you can come hang out with me and a bunch of other awesome romance YouTubers who just want to chat about romance books with you as a creator or a viewer. All right, y'all. Bye.
Really asking, we'll get away to a place where we don't know.